Creative continuity. We bring the convention to you.
We're so excited about the next film we have coming out. It is called Zootopia. To tell you about Zootopia, I'd like to bring out the filmmakers of Zootopia. Ladies and gentlemen, the director who directed Tangled and Bolt, Mr. Byron Howard, the director of Wreck-It Ralph, and from The Simpsons, Rich Moore, and the producer of Wreck-It Ralph and Bolt, Mr. Clark Spencer.
We are here at the D23 Expo rolling out our new film, Zootopia, which comes out March 4th, 2016.
So what do you think about playing Judy Hopps? How do you feel about that?
It's a dream come true to play Judy Hopps.
Isn't it?
It's as exciting as it gets. She is a bunny from the Burrows. She's on the outside of town. She moves to the big city of Zootopia to follow her dreams and become the first bunny cop with the Zootopia Police Department.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I like your dreams. I like how you
This is Shakira, and I'm so happy to announce that I'm going to be a part of the new Disney movie Zootopia, where I'm going to be playing Gazelle.
She plays this great character, Gazelle, which represents all of the ideals of Zootopia, that truly anyone can be anything. And her song, Try Everything, launches Hopps into her journey into the city.
One of my favorite fairy tales of all time. It doesn't really have a definitive version, is Jack and the Beanstalk. So I'm proud to announce that we are in production of our version of Jack and the Beanstalk, and it is called Gigantic. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the filmmaking team behind the new Gigantic, the director of Tangled, Nathan Grino, and the producer of Prep and Landing and our short film Get a Horse, Dorothy McKim.
If you make a movie that has gigantic comedy and gigantic action and gigantic emotion, you're going to need gigantic music, right? And so, do we know anyone, Dorothy? Do we know anyone that can write gigantic hits? Any songwriters that can write gigantic hits?
I think we do, and you all know them as well. You know them from Winnie the Pooh. It's the wonderful, we are so excited to be working alongside the songwriting team of Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez. You know them from Frozen, and they are our songwriters writing on our film.
When you work with Disney, you really are working with the best storytellers and animators in the whole world. And we were getting to the end of Frozen and thinking, oh, we're gonna have to say goodbye. And then this opportunity came up to work with you guys, and we jumped at the chance to stay in the family.
Especially because Nathan directed Tangled, which is the movie that we love and that got us through the whole winter of 2011 with our two young girls.
It was a tough winter in Brooklyn.
We're looking to make the definitive version of Jack and the Beanstalk. So how do you do that? Well, you need to take the original story, the iconic imagery of that, but you're going to have to put a lot of twists and turns within that.
We were not only deeply inspired by the beautiful people, the rich music, and engaging stories of the South Pacific, but we were also deeply changed by them. I'm thrilled to bring out the filmmakers of Moana. These great filmmakers have done some of the most classic films for the Walt Disney Animation Studios. Films like The Little Mermaid and Aladdin. Ladies and gentlemen, the directors John Musker and Ron Clements, and the producer of Moana, Osnat Shurer.
We're here with you at D23 to announce our musical team for the first time. Our team is made up of 3 members. The first is named Opataya Fuai. Opataya is a musician from the South Pacific. He has a band called Te Waka that has won multiple World Music Awards, and they are huge, huge superstars in the South Pacific. Second on our team is Mark Mancina, who is a composer. Many of you have heard of him. He's done so many Disney films. He did Con Air and Speed and the Planes movies. And of particular relevance to our movie, also The Lion King. And last but not least, Lin-Manuel Miranda, amazing songwriter. He's known for In the Heights, which he wrote and starred in, won a Tony and an Emmy, and for Hamilton, which opened on Broadway last week, and it's awesome. If you haven't seen it, go. It's a hip-hop version of the life of Alexander Hamilton, and it's fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, could you please put your hands together and give a warm D23 Expo welcome to the voice of Maui, the man, the myth, the legend, Dwayne Johnson!
There was a young fellow by the name of Dwayne Johnson, who many people know. We've recorded with him a few times. He's playing the part of Maui, who was a legendary mythic figure of the South Pacific. He was a demigod. He was bigger than life. He was a trickster, a shapeshifter, and pulled up islands out of the sea. And we thought, who better could play somebody mythic than a mythic guy like Dwayne Johnson?
And we've had a couple of recording sessions with Dwayne, and he's great with comedy. He's got comic timing. He can improvise, and he's as warm as can be. It's been fabulous to work with.
When I first started my career 15 years ago, one of my major goals was to be in the Disney family and to be a part of a Disney animated movie and hopefully create a cool character and be surrounded by cool characters. And if you do it right, maybe it becomes iconic. And so it was a cool, seminal moment for me just to be on stage and then to introduce the character Maui, to show the world the movie, some parts of the movie with Moana. It's very special.
Samoa is in my blood, and to tell a story inspired by the South Pacific is truly a great honor.
What always impresses me about those guys and our storytellers and our filmmakers, writers, producers, is the level of deep dives that they go to just in terms of getting their information, making sure that everything is drilled down. And by the way, it's a Lasseter way. It's how he wants to make sure that these stories are vetted out and authentically told.
The song is called We Know the Way, and it was the first song written for our movie by our three musicians, Opataya Fuai, who is a Pacific Island musician, Mark Mancina, the fabulous composer, and Lin-Manuel Miranda, who, if you haven't heard of him, you're not following theater in New York. He just opened with his play Hamilton, which is just stunning. So the three of them got together and wrote our first song called We Know the Way, and Opataya and his band came from the South Pacific to play it for us.
They performed it live, and it was incredible. It was just really, really, really cool.
The song itself is a celebration of voyaging, that culture we learned about when we went to the South Pacific on a research trip, how it's such a source of pride for them that they were the world's first greatest navigators, that they sailed using Dead Reckoning, where they just had the stars and their knowledge of the currents, no instruments, and they found their way in these double-hulled canoes across the sea to islands, and they sort of settled the whole Pacific that way. And this song is a celebration of that culture, and it draws on all those roots of both the Opataya and Lynn's narrative sense and Mark's world music sense. It's sort of a fusion of all three.
Yeah, it's a little like The Lion King in that it's a fusion of elements, and really, but genuinely, I think, draws from South Pacific music and the roots of that music, which is such great music and such unique music.
There was some music, yes, by Tavaka, an amazing band. They came all the way in from the South Pacific, and they, because in our Polynesian culture, music is our soul. And I think you'll see that in our movie, and you saw that on stage when they were performing.
It's been nearly 10 years since Pixar has been part of the Disney family. For the first time in history, we have not one original Pixar animated feature film coming out this year, but two. And beyond those two films, we have the strongest slate of films we've ever had in our studio's history. At Pixar, the one question that we keep getting asked most often is, will we do a sequel to Finding Nemo? And I am excited and honored to introduce to you the incredible filmmaking team of Finding Dory. One of my best friends, the director of WALL-E and the original Finding Nemo, Andrew Stanton, co-director Angus MacLean, and producer Lindsay Collins.
So our new film centers around Dory, and we couldn't be more excited to have the great Ellen DeGeneres back.
This is so exciting for me. I can't tell. Well, you do know how exciting it is. And I'm so proud of this film. I can't wait for you to see it. Couldn't be prouder of the concept, the writing, the animation. I'm just excited. I love the character, so it's fun to do it again. We should introduce some of the co-stars.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
All right.
I got it.
Lindsay,
All right.
you read that
I'm
line.
on it. First up is Hank the Octopus. He is voiced by Ed O'Neill. Woo-woo! Star of TV's Modern Family.
It's the sequel to Finding Nemo. And my character is a new character, was not in Nemo. He's an octopus named Hank, who was born into captivity and is kind of grumpy, doesn't like antisocial octopus.
So Bailey is voiced by Ty Burrell, also from Modern Family.
Finding Dory, which is the long-awaited sequel to Finding Nemo. Gosh, I wonder if there's a record for distance between sequels, but it's got to be close. Yeah, it's been just super fun making it. They're so fun to work with. I mean, as far as animated stuff, that's such a playful, fun environment, and they're all so smart and funny. It's really intimidating.
Of course, I know Ty. I've worked with Ty for 6 years. I know Ellen. I've done her show a couple of times. And so we, it's always fun when we get together and we're not working really. We're just sort of telling jokes. And what are we doing?
I don't know. We're supposed to. That was. We have not worked together, and yet you're hilarious in the film. Very, very funny. And had we worked together, we would have witty banter about stories and stuff. Let's make up stories. Remember that time?
Yes.
When you.
Oh my God.
Oh my God,
it
it
was
was so funny.
Should have been there.
Yeah. What do we do now?
What do we do?
I'm excited for everybody to kind of see Dory again, because Ellen's just so awesome and so funny, and she's so funny in this movie. And I think all the new animation's really cool, and Andrew and Angus are doing just such a great job of putting the film together. It's kind of the whole thing.
There is Destiny. She's a very sweet but somewhat confused whale shark who thinks she's a whale even though she's actually a shark. Destiny is voiced by the very funny Caitlin Olsen from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I'm playing a whale shark named Destiny who does not like to be thought of as a shark, just wants to be a whale. Sharks are scary, doesn't want to be scary, can't swim well. And Dory's my friend.
I think that Disney and Pixar have engendered this kind of rabid fan base because they really, gosh, I'm somebody with really no business sense at all, but it just seems like they don't really release anything in the brand, and that seems like for both of them that isn't really thought out and really thorough. They don't really deal in a lot of stuff that is sort of halfway, and I think they have a very, very rabid fan base because of people get really affected by. I'm a huge fan of Pixar and of Disney, but I think it makes sense when you see how thorough Pixar is, and when you kind of get inside of it and see just the level of detail that they're working with.
We've been working on it for 3 years. We waited a decade for this to happen, and so I think people will be very happy with what we're doing. I think we're going to produce something that, regardless if you were a Nemo fan or not, you're going to love this film.
We are up in Northern California in our little bubble, working for literally years on pictures. And the world sees them, but you don't really get a personalization about it. And so to come down here, we've had time in the booth to actually meet a lot of the people, a lot of the fans personally, and you just forget how much for us in particular, Nemo's been part of their lives for over 10 years, and then to be able to come back there, it's a big thrill for them, and it's a big thrill for us to see what that means for them.
I'm the director of Toy Story 4. Yes, I am returning. I'm so excited. I love being chief creative officer and executive producing, working with all these incredible filmmakers. But you know what? I love making movies and directing. So I'm coming back. I'm so excited. It's amazing what's happening in animation in the Walt Disney Company. 2 incredible studios. The Walt Disney Animation Studios. I'm so proud of this place. It's built upon a legacy, an incredible legacy. A studio that Walt Disney himself started 92 years ago. We still are making animation. We've never closed our doors. That legacy drives us. Pixar Animation Studios. The studio of pioneers who invented much of computer animation. And we're always pushing the boundaries of innovation at that place. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of both of these studios. They're full of the most talented people, artists, and the most wonderful filmmakers. This year, besides having Inside Out and Good Dinosaur coming out, marks the 20th anniversary of the original Toy Story. The film that started it all. I'm sorry to make a lot of you feel old all of a sudden. One thing in talking about Toy Story, you can't talk about Toy Story without talking about the music. And there's no point in talking about Toy Story and the music without mentioning the Oscar-winning singer, songwriter, and composer for all of the Toy Stories film, Randy Newman.
Got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old past said. Boy, you've got a friend.
It's amazing. We just got done with the animation presentation of the D23 Expo, and it was spectacular. I mean, it was 7,800 of our most loyal, the absolute best fans. Thank you, D23! We'll see you in 2 years!